Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for September 6, 2020, with your host, Pixar2448 and Ramped Epsilon.
Hi.
I guess this is the last week where we do this, and I'm not concerned with how late we go.
Fair.
Because starting next week, I have to be concerned with when we end, so I know when to go to. So I'm like, shit, I gotta go to bed like at decent time.
The good thing is,
it does feel nice.
TGSR hardly goes too long.
Hardly goes like over like an hour.
Yeah. Which may or may not change next week.
Yeah, because we start Build Fighters next week.
That's one of those. I kind of, when I realized that Ichigo was literally being like an hour, that's when I was like, yeah, we'll push the pre-show longer. That's fine. It's one of those. At least next week's we'll probably do normal pre-show into TGSR and see from there.
Yeah. Because I'm not sure how long it'd take us to talk about Build Fighters, because we've done the first two episodes of Build Fighters like a long time ago on TGSR, haven't we?
I feel like the answer is yes. My brain tells me I don't remember it.
Fair.
So... But I'm wanting to say that we have at some point. I'm wanting to say it was one of the early seasons.
Yeah. I think we probably did it when it first came out, which it was... Fuck, when did this come out?
I can actually find out.
2013. Jesus Christ, this is 7 years old now?
Then yeah, I'm sure it probably was when we... On one like the earlier ones. I'm trying to find out. Right, I've got to log in.
God, 7 years old a month from tomorrow. October 7th, 2013.
Oof.
Jesus, I feel old. Because I remember discovering this and watching it when it first came out. So yeah, we're doing that next week. I will put together the watch list and probably tweet it out as well on the TGS Twitter, just so people have that, just to view, just feel like, okay, this is when we're doing certain the 4 episodes at a time situation. But it should be fun. I remember really enjoying it, so. But before we get there, we got 3 episodes of Ichigo to get through, and I guess talk about the series in general. 15 episodes for us in 59 for the series. Or I guess 15 weeks of watching this series. We have 57 through 59. Tommy, how do you feel about these 3 episodes? The last 3 for a while.
Kind of just meh. Like I've kind of felt with the show for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Also, now that the darn site finally let me log in, I'm trying to find out. Yeah, we did. Actually, not that far back, come to think about it.
Oh, really?
We did it about a year after the show came out.
Makes sense. I probably discovered it after it debuted.
Because it was one of the in-betweens when we were doing Zexel.
Oh, God. Zexel.
Which, oddly enough, was literally like a season and a half before we stopped TGSR for a little while.
Damn.
So that all actually should be on YouTube.
Still,
Yeah,
assuming none of it's gotten dumpstered by the bots.
fair. I've not seen anything saying that it's been dumpstered by the bots, so.
Yay. Yeah, these are just 3 episodes. They're 3 episodes of this series, so we might as well just hit them all at once, because we're off to 57! Tsuchigumo Man Poison Mondo. I forget what this monster's based on. Because we have, like, Komodo Dragon Man.
Wasn't this one a spider?
Yes, it was, because of what Goro says later.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Not that Spider-Man.
Not the good Spider-Man.
Nah, this is evil Spider-Man. So yeah, kickoff! We follow Hongo and some other scientist that Hongo's working with at not his usual lab, because I don't know why.
Reasons.
They're apparently working on a liquid explosive.
Which
that
I'm sorry, this kind of immediately screams, yep, this is gonna be the center of the Shocker plot.
Isn't that half the episodes at this point? Of scientist invents something, Shocker wants it, Hongo gets involved.
Or Hayato.
Or Hayato. One of the two of them get involved.
Pretty much, yeah. What's funnier is this time Hongo's Shocker sense kind of tingles, but he lets it roll.
Yeah. Because Hongo has his concerns about, inventing a liquid that can explode and catch on fire. But the guy's like, it's fine. This won't fall into the wrong hands. Sure. Hongo has a few stories for you that says otherwise.
Yeah.
But his little brother calls in, see if he's coming home. But he's putting in another all-nighter to finish this up. And Hongo proceeds to leave, and then we see the guy thinks it fails, but then it works because it catches the statue on fire, which, that seems like a safety hazard.
Yeah.
That seems like a safety violation. Why is that not in a box? Why is it just out in the open, letting anything burn?
Good question.
I call foul. I call incredibly hard foul. So the guy gets it working. As we see, a security guard stumbles upon our newest Shocker monster. It is immediately murdered as he was scoping out the place by taking him in the hole and I guess ripping his skin off and then dropping his skull on the hole. Just being like, I murdered this man. Well, that is the cleanest looking skull that you have ripped out of someone's head.
Well, I mean, he's a spider, so that means that he sucks all the everything but bone out of you. Because that's what spiders do, right?
No.
Not at all.
I'm pretty sure that's not how spiders work. I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. So yeah, that happens. And the next day in the morning, the guy finishes up the paperwork. And I guess doesn't take out any samples? Or doesn't destroy any samples of it? Or I don't know. I'm confused about why Shocker's plan is this plan. Because all he does is take the notes on this. Isn't there a sample of it at the lab that he leaves?
I would have thought, but maybe not.
Also, theme of this week, Shocker going to Plan B after Shocker fucks up Plan A. Because they try to ambush this guy on the on the road and inadvertently run him off the road and off a fucking cliff.
As Hongo's nearby.
Yes! Who then has to fight off Shocker to rescue this man and take him to the hospital.
Yeah. For then Shocker to come up with the dumbest idea ever. But we'll get to that in a second.
Are you sure about it? Because I can think of one dumber. Ryoma's plan. With Hakaider.
Oh, well, now, okay, I'm not counting that. I'm talking about in the show that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Their literal dumbest plan.
Yep. So, Hago rescues Sai, takes him to the hospital. We find out that after a surgery to, like, I guess, try to fix some of the broken bones this man probably has. Because he's gonna need another...
Because that's how surgeries work. They just fix everything.
Yes. He's going to need another surgery and to hopefully, like, for him to not die. And it will be, like, tomorrow afternoon. And then the guy talks about a monster, so Hongo's gets confirmation. There is a Shocker monster at the center of this. It wasn't just Shocker goons, because I don't think he fought the monster in the first fight.
I thought he at least saw the monster, though.
Maybe.
I think you're right on the fact that I don't think he fought the monster, but I thought he at least saw it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I zone out during the fight scenes in this series super hard.
I zone out through most of this super hard.
Makes sense. So we cut to the Shocker base where Ambassador Hell chews out the monster over his failure. And that is when he comes up with Plan B, which is to kidnap the scientist, take his brain out, shove it into a cyborg body, and then to make that cyborg body with this guy's brain make them more explosive liquids.
Except what we find out later is that actually the plan is truthfully taking this guy's brain out and sticking it in another normal looking guy that probably isn't a cyborg.
Yes.
Hence why I said this is the dumbest idea.
And for those referring with the dumber idea, Ryoma and Gaim, for the Hakaider crossover episodes, took his own brain out and put it in Hakaider's body from the movie to go blow shit up. And then he took it back out and put it back in his own body.
Don't ask.
Bear in mind.
That was a one-off that we usually just kind of ignore.
We ignore a lot of the crossover stuff for Gaim, because Gaim had a shit ton of crossovers that I think everyone has ignored since they came out. Because for as much as I hear people praising Gaim, I don't hear anyone talking about that Hakaider movie, fucking Tokyuger. There was a third one.
Yeah, there was a third one, but I can't remember what it was now.
It might have been the other Sentai.
Maybe? You're looking it up, I'm assuming.
Yes. Apparently, I'm gonna have to go to Gaim's page on the Writer Wiki to get this.
I can understand that, actually.
Except not, because they don't distinguish these. Okay, never mind. It might just been those two. It might have been the movie crossover episode. Because they had an episode completely dedicated to promoting the soccer movie.
Which I feel like that one actually kind of worked in a little better than the other crossovers.
Yeah, because that was a Baron episode. Well, if you said something, I didn't hear it because apparently I completely muted my audio so I couldn't hear anything.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay. But anyway, back to the episode. We cut over to the club as they're trying to figure out their next move, and they decide to just keep an eye on the guy and make sure that he doesn't get kidnapped. Cue Shocker deciding to kidnap the doctor in charge of his surgery, have the monster kill him and take his skin and disguise himself as said doctor. Literally, just steal his skin and make it fit. That's fine. That's how that works.
Yep, that's how spiders work.
Yep. So this, of course, works. The guy and the doctor, this monster, and one of the nurses who's disguised as a shocker scientist. They kidnap the doc, and now Hongo's one step behind them all. Shocker does try to do the surgery, but with the other guy that they bring in, decide to shove the brain into. But thankfully, thanks to Goro and him randomly researching the spiders, gives Hongo the idea of, the spider must have left a scent trail that I can see with my special eyes. And I can follow them. So he follows them to the base with Taki. They interrupt the surgery, and they rider kick the monster. Doc is saved.
I want to mention he actually didn't go to the base with Taki. Taki just happened to show up because that's how that works.
Well, to be fair, Hongo and Taki are on better terms than Taki and Hayato.
Yeah, but
Taki was just following behind him.
Far enough away to where he couldn't see him transform.
You say that, but in the next episode, I think, he transforms right next to Taki.
I just had to say it because, that was kind of the theme with Hayato. We never could tell if everyone else knew if he was a writer or not. Yeah.
At least here, it's just like, oh yeah, we all know you're fucking writer. We're not playing this game. But yeah, that's the episode. Which takes us to episode 58. The Monster Poison Lizard Duel in Fear Valley. So we're at another lab. As usual. Fuck's sakes, all of these episodes are so goddamn similar sometimes.
Yeah.
So we're at a lab, and these three, this doctor and his two assistants, are trying to create a drug that will revive dead things. In this case, a dead dog who's been dead for weeks. And it works! So we have created a totally not zombie dog, I guess. That won't try to eat us in 2 weeks.
Maybe.
So the three of them celebrate, and then the male assistant, in this case, takes it to a lab, I guess, for evaluation or something. I forget why he takes it.
I think because
he just takes a bunch of samples.
Testing the next day with it, and he was taking it where they were supposed to be.
So the guy takes it. Shocker tries to intercept him. The monster proceeds to melt him, but before the guy is fully melted, he destroys the samples, and oh no, Shocker has left the situation empty-handed.
Again.
Why have they become so bad at kidnapping people?
I don't know.
That's your one job for most of the series, is to kidnap people. Why are you so bad at it now?
Maybe it's because the big guy's overcharged.
Ambassador Hell, then? That's the quirk with all his monsters, is that they're too bloodthirsty and they keep murdering people?
Maybe.
Honestly, that makes sense.
Because it seems funny, everyone else's monsters have kind of worked correctly.
Yep. So now Shocker has moved to Plan B, where instead of kidnapping the main scientist and just getting the secrets out of him, they're going to kidnap the female scientist.
Did Discord break? I think it did.
Hi. As I was saying, Plan B for Shocker this time is they are going to kidnap the female assistant instead of the main scientist and use her to ransom the doctor for the notes and stuff to make this drug, because that would make Hongo less suspicious.
Yes.
Even though they do this in broad daylight.
And proceed to take her to the doctor.
In broad daylight. On the same day. God damn.
And they just happen to do it at the same time that Hongo was on his way to see the doctor.
Yes, after Goro saw them kidnap the girl to start with because her little brother goes to the same school as Goro. Bravo.
Maybe all of his monsters are just incompetent is the problem.
Yeah. So, they proceed to kidnap the girl. Goro sees this. He reports this to the club. So, Hongo and Taki are on their way to the lab when they get informed about this. As Shocker shows up and tries to bargain with the doc. But Hongo and Taki interrupt this trade because the doc took long enough on the safe for them to arrive. They break it up, but they get away the girl for now. But they do manage to shake off Hongo by injuring him on a bridge and then dropping the bridge. Which only mildly incapacitates Hongo.
Which, might I add, that Kamen Rider toy on the rope bridge that they built on the desk somewhere, that was really funny. I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah. Gotta love them effects. Although, there's a couple things I want to talk about since Hongo's been back that I forgot to bring up on the podcast. So in our first batch of episodes, you know how the opening narration ends with Hongo doing the pose and stuff?
Yeah.
I think the first 3 episodes cut too early because they cut him mid-pose, but they fixed that later. And secondly, it might just be my imagination, but are all of Hongo's Rider Henshin lines 80-yard over him not saying those words? Okay.
Yep. I was so wanting to bring that up if you didn't.
Because I was pretty sure almost every single time he's done the Henshin, he's actually not said Henshin. It's all 80-yard. And he doesn't even look like he's saying the words.
He's not even trying to say the words. Like, if you go back and watch these 3 episodes even, he's not even trying. He barely moves his mouth between the words. Not with the words, between the words. And it's like, why did this go through post? Why did no one see this?
For several dozen episodes, mind you.
I mean, if it was just one time, okay. If you couldn't see his mouth through it, okay. But you can. Big time. It's like, guys.
So yeah, Hongo is mildly inconvenienced by being dropped off a bridge while being sprayed by acid. Or after being sprayed by acid.
That apparently makes him go numb. Even though it kills other people.
And melts them?
Shocker, what is with these dual-purpose acids?
Why did you make Hongo too sturdy? You made him too sturdy.
I'm just...
Nothing seems to work on him.
I'm just trying to figure out why every acid that would melt other people only just paralyzes the riders.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess
they
because
not
we can't
learn
melt
the
the suit.
first time?
Yeah. I guess it's because we can't melt the suit.
Maybe. Maybe.
So, so picking up back up for the episode, we're back at the Jocker base, and they plan to bisect this girl with a buzzsaw if they don't get the drug. And they actually torment her for a little bit by testing the buzzsaw. It's like, you're having too much fun tormenting this poor woman. Absolutely far too much fun tormenting this poor woman. Who I am sure has some PTSD after this.
If she don't, something's wrong.
Yeah. But over to the club, Hongo's recovering and tries to go out, but Tachibana more or less is like, no, sit down. Recover first, please. Because he gives a shit about Hongo. Not so much about Hayato, apparently, because we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, and that kind of aggravates me.
Yeah. Over to the lab, Taki's speaking with the doc when Shocker phones in with the ransom. And there's something I noticed in the scene. You can see both of their breath on camera. Which means that room had to be cold. To some degree. Had to be cold enough for that to happen, which I'm like, was it just a really cold-ass day when they filmed this episode? Because they are indoors on this one, in this scene. They are inside a building.
Either that,
an actual building.
Either that or some intern decided to turn the air up too high.
Potentially. But they have Taki deliver the documents to Shocker. And when he does, he's captured, because, of course he is. That's half of Taki's job, is to job out and get captured. Thankfully, Hongo is not far behind and races to the base. And he gets there, and he tries to rescue them both, but the girl's like, no, they set up bombs connected to the buzzsaws. You gotta disarm them first, because if you touch the switch, it'll blow us all up. So they have to disarm them. And Taki has to disarm the last one, because Hongo has to bench press the buzzsaw real quick to buy them time.
Yeah.
Which, okay, could he not bench press that and get her off? Because it's only connected to the switch that turns off the buzzsaw.
I'm confused on that whole situation there, because earlier it was mentioned that there was apparently electric current running through her, and that if she moved, the bombs would go off. So,
but now it's the switch.
Yeah. So it's like, you guys can't even keep your thought together here. Great.
Yep. But they do that. They rescue her. Taki gets her away from the base while Hongo fights the monsters. And one more time. And he actually does finish him off with that ship tombstone from last week, which still looks terrible.
But it looks better than the whatever the heck that rider roll was last week.
Oh god, those...
Like, I feel like this one looks better.
Oh, that rider roll has to be the worst thing they have come up with for this series.
No, I'm not talking about the two rider roll. No, I'm talking about what this move was supposed to be that turned into him and the monster rolling on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Because we got flubbed that hard last week.
Okay. I just, when you say that, I'm just thinking of, oh no, the two of them rolling around on the ground and get to the monster that's 5 feet away.
No, oddly enough, that's actually a better move, because at least that was actually what it was intended to be.
Incredibly stupid?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, also, I just saw this get retweeted by Doc on Twitter. What is this? YouTube External CC? Someone has made a website that you can upload, like, the closed captions for a YouTube video to this website, to the linked YouTube. and that will put them back on. I assume through this website. Bear in mind, the closed captions stop happening at the 28th for community contributed subtitles or closed captions, not creator contributed closed captions. Which unfortunately means that any of the sub work that that people have done for the Toei Tokusatsu channel is going to be null and void outside of this app, I guess, because they'll have to re-upload everything through the app. Which I don't know if anyone has. I've completely forgotten to actually check stuff out on there. Anyway, that's episode 58, which brings us to our last episode, episode 59, The Bottomless Swamp Monster, Earthworm Man. So we start with a couple guys fishing, which I think is not the first time we've started with a couple guys fishing, who are then immediately murdered by the monster because they find the base and they have to be murdered in order to keep the base secret.
Yeah, because we got another one of them plots.
Yes. So we find out that Shocker's plan this time is to detonate a very high explosive bomb with some super special radioactive material. And they are currently working on a trade, or a pickup more or less of the said materials. Which we'll get to the trade in a second because it's hilarious. But we check in with the club, who are trying to figure out the current state of things, because they got reports of people going missing in this swamp. And also, the swamp has a bunch of fissures that have been occurring in it, near it recently, I believe. Is that correct?
I think they happened, previously. I can't remember if they said, it was a couple of years ago, or it was just, a couple of months kind of concept. But yeah,
it's one of those cases of suspicious it's one of those cases of suspicious activity plus suspicious activity must mean Shocker, so Taki and Hongo are off to investigate. We follow Shocker on their deal as this one man stands at the end of this docks in a full white suit as two guys in black suits approach him. They match Shocker emblems, and then he just kind of walks away and lets them pick up the case with the material, with the radioactive material. How is this not the most suspicious thing in the fucking town?
Raisins.
Anyone looking at this can go, oh, crime happened here. It must have.
Well, especially seeing as how they're standing out on a dock that is completely open.
Yes.
It's okay, usually stuff like this you do in dark alleys or something like that.
Nope.
Not in broad daylight in the middle of everything.
Mm-hmm. But unfortunately for them, a couple of random crooks are stealing some jewels in a similar case at the same time. And the two of them end up crashing their cars. And then the Shocker goons beat up these guys, accidentally take their case back to the base, while the two thieves follow them because, oh no, we got the wrong case, let's follow them. Meanwhile, the club is putting together the info they've gotten as we cut back to the thieves as they catch up, and they offer the trade Shocker their radioactive material for the jewels, and Shocker says no. Why? just why? You both do crime. Let them have their jewels and let them walk away.
You both do crime bad.
Literally, just hand them the jewels, pretend that this is some Halloween party bullshit, and let them walk away. They will be none the wiser.
Nope, gotta kill them.
Yeah, because otherwise we have no plot, because otherwise Hongo and Taki would not stumble across this chase scene, as they do when they look into the fissures. And they just stumble across Shocker pursuing these two people. So Hongo fights these people, or fights them, ends up incapacitated because he gets one of the worm guy's worms around his neck and it chokes him out. But he escapes it by just turning on the power on his belt a little higher so he can rip it off.
By using his rider power.
His literal rider power.
That is literally what he even calls it, and it's like, okay.
Hago, that's just your weighted training clothes. You just should have that switch turned up a little bit more every now and again. Just turn it up, go about your day, and eventually it'll just be at max and you'll be perfectly fine. Because that's how that works. I'm sure that's how that works. Probably. Yeah. Anyway, Shocker's kidnapped one of the thieves, and they plan to ransom him to the other guy in order to get the materials from the club, because they know the club has it now. Which we see the club figure out that, oh no, it's super radioactive materials, which, Hongo, why are you A, opening this in the middle of the club, and B, not have this in some sort of protective box, because it is fucking radioactive. Like, super radioactive.
Because he's a scientist, he knows what he's doing.
I guess. But we cut over to the other thief, who Shocker threatened and order him to bring the materials, and I think give him a poison pill to, I guess, poison Hongo with, in order to get the case. But he says fuck.
Except to this, I have to wonder, how is one pill going to take care of 3 people? Because even if he took Hongo out of the picture, Taki and Tachibana would probably stop him.
Yes. Look, Hongo's the only threat here.
I mean, as far as Shocker's concerned, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But he eventually says fuck this and tells them about his buddy being kidnapped. So Hongo and Taki are off to do a rescue. They do. Hongo fights, Taki rescues the thief, and he counters the chokehold, kicks the monster into the lake. It goes boom along with the base. Then the thieves get reunited and they probably go off, steal some more shit. And that's the episode. How'd you feel about these 3? Our last 3? Indeed. It is.
I'm like super at the point of I'm done.
Yeah.
We're getting nothing. Again.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me wonder why there's so much hype around this. Because there's a lot of dead.
I think it's because people probably only remember the highlights of this episode. And don't remember all of the trudge in between them. And also, maybe don't watch the show 4 episodes a week at a time. And take it quite a while to watch the show.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe like one episode every so often, and you just slowly work your way through the show, makes the show a lot more digestible. Because you don't get caught into the, oh god, I'm watching 4 episodes and they're all so similar.
I mean, to be fair,
and
I also kind of feel like maybe the skipping a few episodes here and there that really don't do anything to the plot would be helpful.
Which is why I think by the time we get through this entire series, I will have an essential viewing guide up. Or an essential viewing list. Or we can like try to do an essential viewing list for a podcast by the end. And to see what we come up with. I don't know. Because, like, if we can cut the show down to about 40 episodes, I think it would probably be a lot more digestible for a lot of people.
I feel what's bad, though, is unless something changes in the last part, that might be a little too easy to cut it down below 40 kind of deal.
I mean, even then, because I think, like, Amazon's is like 20 some odd episodes. Like, some of the show series are pretty short. Because I will check real quick. Because V3 is 52 episodes. X is 35. Amazon's is only 24. Stronger is 39. Skyrider's higher up at 54. Super One's 48. Black's 51, and RX is 47. So if you cut it to like the 30, 40, 50s, like somewhere in that ballpark, that puts it more in line with the rest of the show era. But yeah, these episodes, meh. But how do you feel about the show overall?
I mean, when it actually tries to do stuff, I kind of like it. But yeah, that's so few and far between that it's like, oh.
Yeah,
because, like, we got introduced to Zol. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It kind of went right back to this. Then we got his conclusion, which was kind of good. We got Death's introduction, and it went right back to this. And I can't even say when Death left that it picked up because of him leaving, because he just kind of went poof.
Well, he comes back, and what would be our next match when we come back to the show?
But it's one of those. It's like, we're already introduced to another one.
Yeah.
We probably should have closed one door before opening another.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a problem.
Yeah. I missed the start of the series, because I really liked the start of the series. It felt like drastically different tone-wise than anything else I've seen from Ryder. And I really liked it. I really liked the cast. I really liked the interactions we got. And even with Hongo gone, it felt like the show was still trucking along best it can. And
I felt like till we got through a few episodes of Hayato, we kind of had a decent pace.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the first few with Hayato, it kind of just trailed off quick. Into what literally has been most of these episodes.
Yeah. I think if you cut down most of, like, half of Hayato's run, can, like, cut that in half, and we get to Hongo showing back up sooner, and I guess keep all of Hongo's episodes, maybe, where he's guest starring, before he takes over the show fully for Hayato.
I think that, but I also think we should cut out the episodes from in between. Like, it should be one of those, the team-ups between the two of them should be that torch passing back to Hongo.
Yeah.
Since it technically is his show.
Yeah. Have it be that Hongo's around for a few episodes and then Hayato hot tags out.
Yeah. Have it be kind of like how Hayato was. It's like, oh, well, you're back. You got this. I'm going.
I'm off to South America to go lucha.
Because I kind of feel like that's a good idea. The fact that we had Hongo pop in, leave, wait a few episodes, pop back in, leave again, wait a couple more episodes, pop back in, and kind of be here since. It's like, Yeah, we could have done without that.
Yeah. Also, I'm seeing Ty's tweeting of I guess warnings for Colorado. Fire, freeze, and snow is the headline on this one. Like 2 corners of Colorado, fire. Middle part of Colorado, fucking snow. Excuse me?
Well, see, what they need to do is they need to take the snow to the fire parts, and then that'll solve everything. Bring a little bit of that fire to the snow, and then there. Done.
It doesn't help that, from my understanding, like, half the country on the West Coast is on fire. Hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well,
The fuck is 2020 at this point?
well, I mean, COVID. Can't be together. So you can't fight fires together.
I heard someone describe 2020 as being on fire, and I'm like, no, it is slowly imploding.
It is
Because nothing about
2020 is a black hole.
Yes. Because to quote someone from the meeting I had for my job Thursday, he felt like it was only last month that he met some people in person, and it was February, and it's now September. And I'm like, yeah, that's time compression. The world is slowly imploding because of the bullshit that is happening this year.
Mm-hmm.
That time is literally compressing for everyone. The world is literally turning into a black hole. But anyway, I like the early series. I like Hongo. I don't particularly care for Hayato, but having him around for so fucking long through so many just episodes is...
I think Hayato's character lacked the development it needed, is the problem.
Yeah.
It's not so much his character was bad, it was just the fact that the writing surrounding his character was bad.
Mm-hmm. He liked a good place in this show, whereas everyone else in this show, barring most of the girls and Goro half the time, felt like they had a place in the show. Unfortunately, they have nothing to do with the girls. Or nothing for the girls for, like, this entire series, unless it was Ruriko. Because it felt like she had something because she had a place in this series when this supporting cast wasn't, like, 7 characters deep. But now, no one knows what to do with them because it's just like, we have too many people. What do we do? Just have them be around the club and help for stuff sometimes, I guess. Because no one gets to get defined as a character at all.
Ever.
No. But I guess it's kind of just the time period. But yeah, I don't have much else. Got anything else?
Nope.
I still would like to pick up the Shotos. I think it's mainly just I want Shotos of the original 7 with their bikes, and we'll get that with like Shoto X11 now, just for the Megamax connection. So I might still get that at some point. And I think I would get the 7 as they're seen in Megamax, so it would be like the Ichigo we have now in the series, and then the Nigo we will get in the series when Hayato gets back, but with a black helmet. And then I'd probably still get Stronger Charge Up, just to have Stronger Charge Up. But I don't think I would get the earlier stuff. I'm not super invested in the original Ichigo suit, or his battle worn version for like 4 episodes, because I thought he had it for longer. And I also thought there were reasons he had the different suit changes, but nope.
I feel like his other suit change was simply to distinguish him from Hayato.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, slightly fucked that up when Hayato comes back, because I think he's gonna come back in his Shin form. And the only thing differentiating him was going to be the red gloves and the red boots. Because I don't think he'll even have the black helmet, like he does in Megamax. Yeah, I guess that's all we got this week. Next week, we start Build Fighters. It's on Gundam.info or Gundam Info's YouTube for free. You can just go watch it along with us for free. You don't even have to like do a subscription service or anything. It's gonna be bad when we have to start like going to not technically legal stuff for here, but oh well.
I mean, technically, didn't we already do that?
Yes, we did. Back to that, I guess. But yeah, this week will be all the usual stuff. Excuse me. Radiant Dawn, Up Your Arsenal, Minecraft.
You about forgot again.
Yep. Whatever we're going to have planned Saturday. And then starting Build Fighters next week. And you're doing some randos Monday, Tuesday?
Monday. Tomorrow at least. I don't know from there though. I'm kind of at the point where I'm kind of winging it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at least Monday, Wednesday, Thursday kind of concept.
Yep. So check out Tommy on his channel, which is twitch.tv/rampant epsilon. But between now and then, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away at that follow girl. At TG Soon on Twitter gets you updates when we go live. An exclamation point Discord and chat gets you Discord link. Drop by, say hi. If you got questions, we have a Dropbox for them. So put them in there. We'll answer them. And we'll see you next time, folks.